Okay, I'm starting my 5-mile run here. So off I go, and it is a beautiful, beautiful day here today. So the sun is out, but it's chilly, 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 and I've got shorts on. Oh my gosh, maybe I should have wore pants. I don't know, but I'll warm up. Grandma's porch, a place to relax, a place to enjoy. Come visit Grandma's porch. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne, and I'm going to take you along for my 5-mile run. And I kind of call it running with wisdom, or my wisdom run, or run wisdom run. Or maybe wisdom on the run. I think maybe that's good, wisdom on the run. And so, every morning I go for my 5-mile run and I share my wisdom. And, it's kind of unedited. So what you see is what you get. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to edit my video that I do on my run, because then I'll miss bits and pieces. And so, but it was a chilly day actually in the beginning, but once you get running, you heat up. And so that was wonderful. And I loved it. So now I'm home, and then I'm going to do a couple other videos on a couple different topics that probably you haven't heard before. And, I love to share inspiring stories of overcoming obstacles and challenges, whether they're my own or other people's. And when it's other people's, I don't usually say names of who those people are or anything like that. But anyhow, come along with me for my run, okay? Okay, I'm starting my 5-mile run here. So off I go, and it is a beautiful, beautiful day here today. So the sun is out, but it's chilly, 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 and I've got shorts on. Oh my gosh, maybe I should have wore pants. I don't know, but I'll warm up. And I'm starting my 5-mile run here. Yippee. Wisdom on the run, because it really is wisdom on the run. I just kind of talk about whatever comes to my mind as I do my morning 5-mile run here. It is really beautiful. So my look is a little bit funky with these glasses. I have so many sunglasses, and I love sunglasses, but tend to wear the same ones over and over. But I'm going to start wearing different ones. Out. Can you hear them? Or the birds. A beautiful, beautiful morning to start my wisdom run, my running on the wisdom. I'm kind of running in the street for the moment. And this is the development, the really nice development that sits behind our little woods. And I go through here. It's a golf course and community, because we all live in a golf course type community setting. And so I am running. Hospitality. I just was talking to a man who was walking his dog, and people overall are very, very friendly down here in the South. He said, "Well, it's good to see you." I said, "Good to see you too." I love that Southern hospitality. Yep, I do. And I think that sometimes the problem is people give up because they don't want to do the work, or they don't have the answer, and so they get frustrated. But you're going to meet up with frustration on the road to success. And I was talking to somebody the other night, and they said they just gave up on their channel, and they're just going to let it be whatever it's going to be. And I thought, okay, well, that's fine if your channel's not important to you. But what if it's important to you? Do you just give up because things aren't working right? Absolutely not, in my opinion. There's a time to give up on certain things in life, but also there's a time to keep on going even when you don't have the answers or solutions or know what to do. You tread water and you keep on trying until you find something that works. Difficult and challenging times that we discover what works better than what we were doing before. It's a bit windy out here and it's chilly. It is chilly today. So, but I kept my shorts on. I think I'll warm up because when you run, you warm up. So yeah, it's chilly, but you know, I'm out here every day. I love being out here. It's just beautiful today. And, you know, when I miss a day of running or exercising, it just feels like a day off, you know. So I do some kind of exercising. Normally it's my run, starting back tomorrow to the gym, dancing. So there's indoor exercises, outdoor exercises. I have equipment at home I work out on too, so it's all good. Just disrupt. They're disruptive people, you know. They're disruptive to everywhere they go, you know, where things are going well and they come in. It can be in the workplace, it can be in the family setting, it could be in the neighborhood. Somebody comes in that's a disruptor. You know, I identify disruptors right away, do everything I can to avoid them, and sometimes even I have to bring it to other people's attention that these people are just here to disrupt. And once we identify it, often they lose their power. And so people like that disrupt, you know, I do my very, very best at avoiding them, and I do my very best at getting away from them. But sometimes you can't if you're in a workplace. And in situations like that, in a right way, and I don't give suggestions or advice, I just tell you how I do things. I identify them, I let the important people know that they have a disruptor present that's creating unnecessary havoc, and most havoc is unnecessary. But there are people that thrive on that. They get a sense of power to disrupt, whether it's a family setting, a workplace setting, a neighborhood setting. That's what they do. They go from place to place and situation to situation and disrupt. Okay, I'm gonna cross the crosswalk. Not my favorite thing to do here. And there aren't that many cars on this road. This is kind of a, you know, a golf coursing community and everything. But, you know, what happens here is that people don't stop at the crosswalk. One and out about every 10 do. And even if one stops on one side, sometimes they don't stop on the other side. So I'm very, very careful at the crosswalk. But what a beautiful, beautiful day. And so following your dreams, you know, making your dreams happen is a process. You know, people want instant success and they think they deserve success, but I don't think any of us deserve success. We have to work for success of any kind, in our relationships, in our physical health, in our finances, in our YouTube channel, you know, pretty much anything. We have to work for it. And sometimes it's a process, it's a journey. You know, I got to thinking about that this morning, and I'm kind of OCD-ish about my windows. I love shiny windows and shiny cars, and I love my inside of my car to be spotless, and I love my house to be spotless. But I realize going to college and being a success, a straight-A student like I am, going to the gym for 2 or 3 hours to stay fit and running, making YouTube videos, being an artist, those are my priorities. And my family, of course, they get number one. And I don't have room for a lot of perfection in areas that are not important. So sometimes we have to let go of some things that are not as important, or not important at all really, in order to focus on what's really important. So the bed doesn't get made every day so that you can focus on your schoolwork. You know, that's an extra 5 minutes to focus on your schoolwork. And, you know, you got to sometimes know where you have to cut corners to make your life happen. And so I realized that. I realized that I have to sometimes say, hey, I can't do it all and be it all, and I don't have to have perfect everything, but I want to focus on what's really, really going to be important in my life. Stuff should you share on social media, on YouTube. You know, we all have very personal stories. And the way my rule of thumb is, if it involves other people, I'm extremely selective about sharing it. Sometimes I'll change the name, sometimes I will just not share it. And even if it's my own personal journey, not everybody deserves our personal business. And we don't want to disempower ourselves. And yet sometimes we want to share because sometimes it helps others. It's a healing process for ourselves when we share our story. I think that, you know, we all have stories and we all have personal things, personal experiences that we've been through. Most of them probably include other people, and they probably include other people. And so we want to be very cognizant when we share it about other people. And I have a lot of amazing stories. I mean, far more than what I've ever shared with y'all, and I've shared quite a few. And I think maybe later today I'm going to do a couple of videos on a couple of different things. And one of the issues I want to talk about is brain aneurysm, which is a very serious issue, and most people probably do not relate to it, but there will be a great audience that will. And it's because I've experienced my own journey at some level with that issue. And I want to talk about, you know, taking care of an elderly sick parent, because I did that for 3 years. And it was challenging and difficult. It was one of the best things I ever did, because my mom was a wonderful person. But at that stage of her life, when things, you know, where she was really sick, it was extremely challenging. And yet I did it. So, you know, that's another separate video. I might want to talk about homeschooling again, why I chose to homeschool, and the beauty and benefit of my journey with homeschool. I have a lot of stories, but I also have a lot of very deep personal issues. Not deep personal issues, because I don't have those kind of issues, but I mean deep personal experiences in life that I might want to share. Some of them, you know, like, you know, my traumatic childhood, and, you know, some of the aspects of that childhood, you know, having, you know, a raging, drunken stepfather. My mother was married several times, and she had one husband that was amazing and good, and I call him my second father, but he was great. But he came after the one that was the town drunk. And so, you know, I've shared that before, but I think I called it the town drunk. But I think, you know, I may share bits and pieces. You know, you get to decide what you want to share. No one should make you feel obligated to share anything unless you truly want to share it. So I think it's to each his own. You know, do you want to share your story? It may help a lot of people. It may help you to share it. But also, you want to only share things that are going to empower you, not diminish you, in my opinion. And, you know, I do admire people that, you know, put it all out there at some level, because they're really, they're letting themselves be honest and authentic. And, you know, those people tend to get the most views and the most everything, you know, subscribers. But I also think that you just got to be selective. You got to do what's right for you. I'm not going to tell anybody that they should or shouldn't do something. I share a lot. I really do. But when it comes to other people, you know, and their part in my journey or my part in their journey, I'm very careful how I do share that, because we want to be respectful to other people, because, well, we want to be. How do you take your channel to the next level? I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know. You know, I watch a lot of great YouTubers. Oh my gosh, a lot of great ones. And I have some really favorites. And they're all different. They all have different kinds of content. So I take the best of who they are. When I'm out running, I don't like to get other people in the video, you know, because they're just kind of walking along. So sometimes I'll stop the video, or they're running along, walking along, whatever they happen to do. Some walk their dogs. But it's a beautiful trail out here. And so I'm out here pretty much every day. Now the golf course is over here. I don't know if you can see the golf course over there behind We have a lot of golf courses here. I don't know how many, but we have tons and tons, or lots and lots of golf courses. And my husband's a golfer, so he loves, his passion is golf. And so let me see if I can, it's kind of this one's a private one, so they kind of put a lot of greenery up, so you can't see in, but you can probably see over there. Let's see. Yep, can you see? I don't even know if there's any golfers because it's chilly out here. Let's see. See, right there, yeah. So, beautiful, beautiful day. Look at all those signs over there. You know, I don't think those signs do any good. You know, there's signs for vote for this one, vote for that one. People mostly have their minds made up, and a sign's not going to change that, I don't think. You know, if you want to make a lot of friends, be a good listener, be a great listener, and reflect back to them and take a genuine interest in what they're saying. So many people, it's about me, 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 me. I mean, take a genuine interest in other people. Show an interest. Even here on YouTube, show an interest. When we show an interest in other people, they usually will show an interest in us. Self-centered people are just not nice people to be around. And so, you know, for me, I don't want to be around self-centered people because it's just about them, 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 me, me, me. You know, you want to win friends, you know, you want to empower yourself, be nice and be thoughtful and be kind. You don't necessarily have to take anything away. Sometimes you just need to tweak it, or you need to add something. And you know, right now in one of my classes, we're learning about, you know, when we write our resume, and you know, they talk about power words. A lot of power words. Use power words in your life. You know, not to intimidate others, but to lift yourself up and lift others up. Use positive words. Our words have so much power. The words that we say, people don't even realize half the time what they're saying, what comes out of their mouth. And it does affect our situations and the world around us. Be positive. Say positive power words. I've always been extremely careful about the words that I use over my life, over the people around me, over the people I love, over my situations. I mean, I will rephrase a sentence in my head before I speak it so that it comes across powerful. I mean, even if you look at my videos, even if I'm dealing with a negative topic, usually at the bottom, I'll put some positive way to handle it rather than the problem itself. Like if I'm talking about toxic people, I'll often say, I don't know, be your best self or something like that. I don't know, some positive statement rather than actually put the words out there. I mean, I may identify the subject as toxic people, but then I go into what we can do to the best of our ability. Now, I don't give suggestions or advice, but I share with you how I do it. You have to be really, really careful when you're running because all these tree limbs are on the ground, and so you have to pay attention. You really, really have to pay attention when you're out here like that for a lot of different things. You know, fortunately, we don't have any bears or mountain lions or anything like that here. I was watching a video last night. Someone was talking about some kind of panther or something that came to their doorstep where they lived, you know, to get their dog, I guess. It was very scary for them. And we don't have things like that. But, you know, there's always other things, you know, out here. So, especially when you're crossing streets and that, you've got to be really, really, really careful. And I always am. So now down here is my 2.5 mile mark, and that's where I turn around. So that makes 5 miles, essentially, somewhere, give or take 5 miles. And I do this every day, and I love it. I love it. I mean, it makes me happy. I feel good. I feel great. You know, I feel great. And I slow down when I do the videos, of course. You know, I'm 63. I don't know many 63 years old that's out here doing 5 miles every day. I don't know any, actually. I'm sure they're out there. I just don't know them personally. And, you know, I believe in taking care of me. Eating healthy, drinking plenty of healthy water, getting plenty of rest and sleep, surrounding myself with positive people, doing the things I love. You know, so many people do the things that they don't love. They don't love things. You know, they don't love what they do, but they do it anyhow. You know, I understand sometimes we have to do something for the short term, but for the long term, we need to get out of that if we can't make it what we love. Some things we can just rearrange it and it'll be exactly what we want. Other things, no matter how much we do, it's not going to change. Some relationships will never change no matter how positive we are. Some jobs will never change no matter what we do. So we have to identify what we can change and what we can't. And if we can't change our situation sometimes, I mean, if we can't change the environment or the relationship, sometimes for me, you know, I've left those situations because I want to have a happy life, and I do. But a happy life takes work and it takes decisions. And a lot of people just stick with whatever comes their way. And I'm not into the whatever comes my way. But I do my best at creating the life I want. My whole life I've done that. I've left amazing jobs. I had an amazing job in LA that I know people that are still on there 30 years later, still working there because they didn't want to leave it. But I knew that I had to if I wanted my life and my destiny to grow. And I had a bigger destiny than that job. And even though it was a fantastic job, you know, I had a destiny that was greater. And sometimes life will push you on when you won't move, you know. Sometimes jobs will leave us. Sometimes a relationship will walk out. We don't want that to happen, but if it does, sometimes that's, I think, you know, pushing us forward. You know, people think it's pushing them backwards, but I think it's pushing them forwards. And you got to make your own life happen. Don't expect other people to make it for you. Other people will help you along the way, but they're not going to do the real work for you. You've got to do that. You've got to make the real hard decisions sometimes in life to create the life you want. Well, I mean, success doesn't necessarily come easy. You know, it really doesn't. And you've got to make it happen. It's up to you. It's up to you to make it happen. It's up to you to make it work. It's up to you to create the opportunities. Well, there's no opportunities out there. Well, you got to create them. You got to figure it out. You know, otherwise you're going to sit there forever. Okay, my turnaround point here, I'm almost there, or the dirt meets the sidewalk. And so I turn around right here. Remember, living in Palm Springs now, y'all say, oh, well, that doesn't sound rough. I was living in Palm Springs, and it just was time to move on. Wonderful place. I know people that still live there to this day, but I knew I wouldn't grow. There again, just like the job I had in LA. It was time for me to move on. I recognized when it was time for me to move on in life, okay? And there's a time to stay. Sometimes you should stay put. I mean, I know this one soap opera actress, don't know her personally, but I know of her. She stayed on the same soap opera for many, many, many years. Had she left it, she probably would not have been the success that she was. So we have to know when to stay put and when to move forward, you know. And because sometimes staying put moves us forward, has its own timetable, and sometimes we want to rush that timetable. But there's other times that we're not going to grow where we're at, and we need to move. And I had, I wanted a different kind of lifestyle than the LA lifestyle, than the Palm Springs lifestyle. So I remember loading up my car. I had an Audi, a gray Audi at the time, and I loaded all my stuff in there. And in the wind, I remember it must have been, I don't know what time of the year. I don't know. There was a big storm that was brewing. And I don't recommend this at all. I was young at the time. And I left in my Audi with my car loaded down. Thank goodness my car was loaded down because the wind was so high. I think being loaded down, it kept the car on the ground. And I remember passing all the windmills out there, the electric windmills. And headed to Newport Beach. Didn't know anybody in Newport Beach. I mean, and I've done videos did the one called Newport Beach and the drag queens. Go back and look at that. You know, it's a funny story. My first roommate situation down there. Later, I was to move in with some other roommates on the beach, and it was wonderful and fun. But that first roommate, oh my gosh, it was crazy. And so, but I was willing to go through all that in order to start new, to start fresh, to build my dreams. You know, didn't come easy. People think, oh, your life is so easy. I've had people make comments, nasty comments like that. And I've had, you know, most people who've, you know, met up with any of their dreams have really paid the price at one level or the other to do it. And you find people along the way that will help you, encourage you. Surround yourself with encouraging people, not discouraging ones. Of course, we want people who will correct us if we need correcting. You know, we don't want someone to encourage us in a wrong direction or just agree with us to agree with us when it's not right. So we want people that will watch out for us and correct us. And yet at the same time, we want to know that we're out there and that we've got people behind us if at all possible. But there were times that I had to do these things on my own, and I did. You know, looking back, I was very young and very brave. And, you know, but I made my dreams happen. And, you know, even when I met my husband, it required me to get on that plane to go to a town I'd never been to across the country, give up a wonderful job, and a job I loved, and go to a man I had just recently met. You know, of course, we spent a lot of time together in a short time, but I knew it was right. You know, I knew it was right for my life. I'm not recommending that at all. I'm just saying that's what I did. And 30 years later, we're together, you know. So I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And we had a destiny together. Our 3 children and wonderful times and all that. This is a golfing community right here. Well, the whole area is a golfing community, but our town is really little. I did a video called Driving Around Town, and that was with my son a couple of videos back. And the thing about it is, you know, I lived in Palm Springs when there was like 1 traffic light between Palm Springs and Palm Desert, or maybe 2 traffic lights. Now, oh my gosh, there's probably 50. And I mean, it's built way out to the highway when that was all just desert. It's like unrecognizable to me. And, you know, this is a quiet, sleepy, wonderful town, a golfing community, a well-known golfing community. And we were lucky enough to get a piece of property that had a lot of land to it. Most of these houses that you see are very, very close together. And they're pricey, but people are willing to pay that in order to live in this small town. And I think the thing is that now what's happening is that people want to move here, and I'm concerned that it's going to grow so big that it will be unrecognizable at some point. But fortunately, we're tucked away with Goldilocks, the 3 bears, and Little Red Riding Hood, and the Big Bad Wolf back in our little area. And we actually live in the town area, and you know, close to the town. And we actually live between these 2 small towns. They're both golfing communities, and we actually live right between the equal distance. And, you know, it's wonderful because we get the best of both. Each one has 2 streets, and that's it. And little tiny home restaurants, and it's just a wonderful place to live. But I think, you know, now it's building on the outskirts. People want to live here, so they live on the outskirts, and we're getting a lot of traffic that we never had before. So, I don't know, you know, but, you know, I'm happy. I don't plan on downsizing like old people, a lot of old people do. Oh, I'm going to downsize, you know, move to the condo. I don't plan on doing that. You know, I don't plan on doing that at all. I plan on living in my house and being the eccentric old woman who winds her grandfather clocks up every day. I've got 4 well over 100-year-old grandfather clocks. All my antiques. I'll be like the little old lady in the Twilight Zone, where Robert Redford played Mr. Death, and she avoided death, so she wouldn't answer her door. And like if she would go sweep outside, she would be very careful And if she saw him watching her, she'd run inside and lock the door. So probably I'll be a little eccentric like that. And so yeah. So what's neat about this is when I'm holding the camera up like this, people think I'm watching them when they're driving by, so they slow down, which they should, because a lot of people speed down this country road here. And when they see me holding the camera up, they slow down. So, except there's a few that'll just kind of whiz on by and not care, and actually kind of gas it a little bit more. So, but yeah, you know, I don't plan on downsizing. I want to stay in my house. I always say my retirement home will be a motor home, so that if my kids ever live anywhere else, which I don't think they will, they'll probably be around us, hopefully forever. But if they did, I could just pull my motorhome up in their driveway and still have my own home with me. So we had 2 motorhomes, a 40-foot diesel, air brakes, which I learned to drive, which was like a huge bus, with a kitchen and a bathroom and a bedroom and a living room and all that. Beautiful. It was about 40 feet, 39.8 or something. And then we had another one, which was brand new. I picked out for my 50th birthday. And that's the one we did 48 states in with our kids, and I was homeschooling. It was wonderful. Route 66, all the national parks, just such wonderful experiences. And, you know, one coast to the other, up and down the, coast. I mean, just a wonderful, wonderful journey in our motorhome. So, you know, I would like to do that again. It will be different because our kids likely won't travel with us, or at least not all 3. And just probably my husband and I. But, you know, if I were ever going to downsize, it would be to a motorhome. It wouldn't be to a condo or anything. I mean, a lot of people love condo life, but it's just not for me. I want to keep my big old house and have a motorhome. So I want to do both. And I think likely we will, you know. So yeah, that's what I want to do. Stop dreaming, you know, keep on dreaming in your life, you know. Oops, almost hit a branch there. You got to really be careful when you're running. I am just loving it. Loving. I love the leaves. Look at the leaves. I just love the leaves. I love kicking them. I do. I love, when I was little, I used to kick all the leaves. My kids, we had a lot of leaves in Marietta, when we lived in Marietta, Georgia. And oh my gosh, so many leaves. And we'd have bags and bags and bags of leaves. And as we were gathering them up, the kids would jump in the leaves and play in the leaves. They loved it. Such wonderful memories. We had a lot of wonderful memories with my kids in that house before we moved here. And I think my kids will remember that house the most, where their childhood was, because that's where their childhood friends, my son's best friend, my daughter's best friend, they met there. You know, they just loved it, you know, and I remember so much. I didn't really want to sell that house. We remodeled it. That's why I stayed there that year after my husband came up here. We're still in the South, deep South, but, you know, we're just a little further up. And so, you know, I love it. I love it here. It's just beautiful. And I love the South. Wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I'm a Southern girl. And when I got to Hollywood that time, they said, you got to change how you talk. You can't talk like that. I said, well, you mean I can't talk like this? They said, nope. So I kind of took voice, speech, and I learned to talk more clearly. So you'll hear me revert, go back and forth, because I like being Southern. I really do. We're polite, we're nice, for the most part. Well, I'm nice, but most people down here are pretty nice. I think most. You know, you get one now and then that's not, but most of them are. And so I love, love, love the South. And yeah. So, you know, do you tell people where you live on, you know, social media? It's up to you, you know. I don't tell people specifically where I live because, you know, you have a lot of, most people are wonderful and amazing. They really are. and no issues. But you get one now and then, it's a little crazy, and you don't want them showing up at your doorstep. And so I keep that personal. Exactly where I live and stuff like that. Y'all know I have a home on the beach, Tybee Island. But I'm not there all the time. I'm going to be there. That's one of my goals, is to start getting down there a lot more. It's just, I'm busy, going to school and everything. But I love it. So it's really up to you whether you want to tell how much level, personal business, where you live. It's up to you. I'm not going to tell people where I live unless I know them, or know them pretty well. And I think that's just one of the safety precautions I like to take here on YouTube. I mean, have you ever had a booger after you've done the videos, or your lipstick was smeared, or there's something on your face, or something wasn't right, and then you go, oh, I ruined the whole video. You know what? I put them up anyhow. Well, I wouldn't put up one if I had a booger, but I don't have a booger, so, but you know what I'm saying. But, sometimes my lipstick will be smeared if I have it on. I did one called Eyebrows Are Crooked or something, because, I'm over 60, so I draw my eyebrows in. Still have my own eyebrows, but they're a little light because they're blonde, and so on camera I kind of fade out, so I draw my eyebrows in. One day I did like 5 videos, but didn't check them. Normally I do a check on how I look before I do a video. Make sure there's, everything is where it should be. And I did 5 videos, and my eyebrow was crooked, and it was noticeably crooked for some reason. And so I just put it up anyhow. Just put those videos up because the content was great. I call my husband Mr. Jack. And how that came about was, it's a Southern thing, Kids are, even I call someone older, it's a deal, a great big older than me, Miss Elizabeth or Mr. John. I don't call them directly by their first name, and my kids still to this day, anybody that's more than probably 5 years older than them, they use Mr. or Miss in front of him. And often Southern women and Southern husbands will call their wives by Miss, or the wife will call her husband by Mr. So I call my husband Mr. Jack. Mr. Jack. And I do. So you're going to hear me talk more about Mr. Jack. And we've had a wonderful journey together. And not every night, but a couple nights a week we sit out and we watch. We have a fire pit. So he builds a fire in the fire pit, and we sit out there and just enjoy our time together and talk. And on Sunday mornings, we tend to sit in bed and read the paper together and all of that. We do. And yeah, that's what we do. So anyhow, I'm going to go home. I'm almost home. Got about another half mile to go. And got to go through my little forest, my little woods. There was a couple motorcycles. And I'm going to make my videos. I'm all caught up with my college work until Monday. I'm going to spend time with my family, cook something good. I'm going to, I'm craving my coleslaw burgers. I did a video on coleslaw burgers, how to make coleslaw burgers. Oh my gosh, they're out of this world. If you haven't watched that video, go watch it, called Coleslaw Burgers. They are so, so good. I've been incorporating some of my Southern dishes, like fried pickles. I did one on fried pickles, homemade noodles. My daughter makes the best pastry ever. Oh my gosh. And so I'm going to go home, make some videos, and I'm trying to talk about some more deeper subjects, which I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about the lady whose husband had an affair on her, and how she handled it right, and saved her marriage. And a lot of people talked about this on a social media post one time, and one woman made a comment, oh, she should have left him for good and walked out. She had 3 little kids. She wasn't going to walk out on her husband and throw away everything for another woman that they had built and worked for. And I think she did the right thing. So I'm going to tell that story. I'm going to do a video on that, do a video on, when I dealt with a brain aneurysm. And, I've done that story. I might redo the one on portal vein thrombosis, you know, because I went back and I checked that. And, you know, there's a lot of people that have suffered from that, but I don't have it tagged right or something. And I think it's too late to really re-tag it, because a lot of people will get a lot from that who are going through that. My daughter went through that, and she, you know, it was a story she and I shared before. So I want to share that, our journey. You know, I want to share, I had so many stories to share about my mom and that journey. You know, these are mostly stories that I've already told, but I told them in like 10 minutes, and they really have so many amazing details that I want to tell them more in detail. You know, because, you know, when I started on YouTube 8 months ago publicly, I've had the channel 11 years, but only for family and friends. And when I started, you know, I really didn't know exactly how to do this. And, you know, I kept my videos 5 minutes, 10 minutes, sometimes less. And subjects like that require more time for people who really are struggling with taking care of an elderly parent, being a caregiver burnout, all of that. So I'm going to do a lot of videos, and believe me, I have a lot more than that I've never shared. All amazing stories, truly inspirational, things that I've seen, things that I've been through, and you know, I'll be discerning what I share. But yeah, so stay tuned. And oh, isn't it beautiful? So I got to go up through here, and I cut through this golf community, as I said. And then I go through our back property. We are so blessed to have 3. Oh, there's the sprinklers again. Oh my goodness, I get stuck in the sprinklers each time. And you know, I'm so blessed to have the property that we do, sitting so close to downtown, because most of these houses, as wonderful as they are so tightly together. And you know, and we have a woods behind us, and we have all of that. So I'm so blessed. Okay, let me see if I can make it through the sprinklers. Oh my goodness. I'm always getting whacked with the sprinklers, the water. I'm always getting sprayed. Here I go. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get sprayed. Let me see. Just a little. I made it. Yesterday I got soaked. Okay. I'm in our little woods here, and almost home, and it feels great. I've done a great job. I do this every day. Tomorrow I'm so excited. I start back to the gym. Yay! I don't think I'll be able to get video in there. I don't think we're supposed to. But what I can do is do video as I go in and outside. It's a beautiful gym. It's got a big swimming pool, everything. I mean, it's a wonderful gym, but I just didn't go for a while because they reduced the hours, and it was so inconvenient for me to make it there because I go to college and, you know, everything else. But I normally was doing 3 hours of workout every day, and I miss it, and I look forward to it, you know. And I did a video yesterday, my vegan lifestyle. Make sure to go watch it. And locked out of the house. I locked myself out of the house yesterday. You got to go watch that video. And so I'm almost home. Almost in my backyard. Getting in my backyard here. And I'm home. Okay, I'm home. I'm home. Oh, goodness. Feels great. Okay, I'm home. And I'm going to stretch a little bit because, you know, it's good to stretch after a run. And I'm home. Okay, stretching time. Time to stretch. You know, I learned that because I had plantar fasciitis or whatever it's called. Oh my gosh, it was awful. Had it for 6 months. No longer have it, but I make sure to stretch. Here. Stretching. Put the other foot up here. That's our fire pit. Kind of messy now after last night. Oh. Yeah, you gotta stretch. I am home. Grandma is home. Let's open up the door to Grandma's place. Welcome. Thank y'all. I am back from my run and I so enjoyed it. And so I hope you enjoyed it too. And I'm not saying that I'm going to do Wisdom on the Run every day, but I try to do it many days because, well, I'm out there running. Why not make use of that time instead of doing a bunch of separate videos? But it's unedited, it's unscripted. I just talk about whatever comes to my mind. And so I really, really hope you enjoy it. So anyhow, from my house to yours, I hope you like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends about my channel. And I hope to talk to y'all soon again. May God bless you. Talk to y'all soon again. Okay? Bye-bye. Grandma's porch, a place to relax and a place to enjoy. Grandma's porch.